Greetings and salutations.
Hey guys, good morning. I am Sam, and this is the After the Bar Show. Welcome. Welcome to my world. And why is my laptop crooked? That is so weird. How does a laptop get crooked from just standing here? Maybe it's just it's leaning on a leg. The camera, see, I don't know what's going on. Looks really super funky to me for some reason. Anyways, hey guys, how's it going? I'm doing good today. I've been up early. Wife woke me up at 2. She thought it was earlier. I thought it was on time because we went to bed so early last night. My hair's all wet. And I don't know. It was nice getting up early. I was able to catch my my morning show that I want to catch every morning, but I haven't been able to catch it in about a week. The Tommy Stiggs Social Club. I was able to be there this morning just to listen to the Stiggs man, just, spit out his truth. And he got me thinking a little bit. They were talking about job reviews and like what would we do? And now I can't even remember how he said it, but I instantly went and made a thumbnail as he was still talking, so I didn't forget, and a title's rating my show and doing a job review, a creator review, a review of what is bad, what is good, and what I need to do to keep it real, right? To keep it 100. Make sure my mic's on. To make it something that I want to do and you guys want to watch, right? But also at the same time, I need to keep it more honest, more real. And like I've always been honest, but I want to reveal God's character, but I want to I don't want to I feel like I'm being too forgiving sometimes, even though that is God's character, is to have compassion and to forgive. But I still, like I've said it before, I'm saved, not soft. And, that's not my term. Someone, a Christian rapper, that's his saying. And I started using the term, my hit list is my prayer list, right? I'm not out to get revenge or to make people's life miserable. Even in my responses to Reese and Tommy, for the most part, except for Tommy, the one show where I was just like, you're a punk, let's fight, you ain't shit, except for that one. Whenever I respond to Reese, it's always just with receipts, and I don't even talk shit about her. I really don't. So all of her minions that want to say it's all about hate. I've never been hateful. I haven't. But anyways, that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm just talking about my character on the show, because look, I am an ex-con, and I did live a long time in federal prison in high security, and my instinct is to be an asshole, to be a fuck you, right? That's my instinct. That's my human instinct because of what I went through in there. But but for the show and for the people and for what I want it to be, a place for people to feel safe to come into recovery, that has to be toned down, right? I have to tone that down, and sometimes I feel like there are times when that that part of me needs to come through, and I stuff it down. And then I start thinking I'm not keeping it real, right? That's when I start thinking I'm not keeping it real. So anyways, that's going to be the show today. I hope you guys stick around. I really do. I really hope you guys stick around for this one. I mean, who knows how good it's going to be, right? But at least we're here together, and I love you guys. I'll start to respond.
Good morning to the chaos we ride.
So when I get texts, my own ideas,
Wake up, Sam, he's reborn again. One step forward from where he's been. Turn up the noise, flip the script today. Lights on, Sam, we've got dues to pay. A world on fire, but the winds still blow. This is morning mayhem. Welcome to the show.
just real quick, I want to say something to your soul. When watching a baby being born, I know I am nothing. Man, is that real talk or what, man? Whenever I go to see a friend, man, I wish I could get this camera straight. Whenever I go to see a friend in the maternity ward when they've just had a baby, and I hold that baby for the first time, I could line them up one by one without them knowing what I'm going to say. And they will all tell you the same thing, that I bawl like a little baby holding that baby for the first time. And I'm not saying that to be like, look how sensitive I am, or to, it just is what it is. When I hold a newborn baby, I just look at them and I feel it, and I am nothing. Exactly. I know I am nothing. That this is the miracle of life. Right. And I just bawl. And, I remember, man, this guy's in prison now too, but, my buddy Julio, he had just bought a house, this beautiful house, moved his family in, had a new baby. And when I went to hold that baby, when I started crying, I remember him looking at me, just be going like, damn, I mean, I know that what he was thinking. He's like, I didn't cry when I held this baby, but my friend is. He was probably like going, man, am I a piece of shit or what? He's just not sensitive like that. He's a gangbanger, whatever. But yeah, he's in prison now, getting tattoos on his face, and that's not who he is. We call him JJ. That's not who he is for real. But he went to prison, and now he's getting tattoos all over his face, the 13s and the Sureño, and and I'm just like, gosh, man, what are you doing to yourself? What are you doing to yourself? Yeah, thank you. I love that intro too, man. I love that intro too. I hope you're not going anywhere, because I see Jamie Marie saying, okay, make that money. Don't go. I need everybody here today. It's a roundup. It's a morning mayhem roundup. We got 16 people. I usually have like 30 to 100, but I'm not saying that to say anyone's doing anything wrong. I'm just saying, man, I wish we had more people in here today. I'm gonna give it a second. I was hoping the title might wrangle some people in, because I know some people look at the title and they're just like, nah, I'm good on that one today. If I'm talking about Trump, or if I'm, doing news stuff, which I am going to talk a little bit about Trump today. But I know if I put Buck Tommy and Reese and all of YouTube, I'd have 1,000 people in here, 1,000. But that's, that's here nor there. But that's not us like keeping true to the show. We're not that. We're not I hate when people say this. We're not a drama show, even though this show was formed on drama, right? If we're honest, this show was created from drama. I mean, the original concept of it was created just to do like a radio type morning show where we have fun and, you know, Tommy and I talked about news stories and, you know, bang shit off each other. But because of all the drama, that's when I got all the, I almost said customers, all the viewers in that took me over the monetization line. And so that's when I say it's created from drama. That's what I mean. It grew to the point where like it grew over 1,000 from 500 to like 1,800 overnight when Tommy and I separated and I helped old girl and, you know, and then from there, I mean, shortly after that, it was obvious that, you know, Reese was talking mad shit about me behind my back. And I was just like, well, I want nothing to do with her either. So anyways, and so then I lost a bunch of more viewers and I'm still bleeding viewers. And, but that's okay because if they're leaving now, they're not meant to be here. And I'm just like quickly seeing a few people saying, I'm never leaving. You know, I'm always going to be here. And I appreciate that. I really do. Because you know what? I'm always going to be here and I'm always going to be me. And I'm always going to just be floundering around and trying to figure out how to do the show differently and better. And I'm going to try to do a little less Sam-splaining, even though that sometimes it's funny. You know, like, my buddy, and I say my buddy, I haven't met him yet, but we're going to do a show together really soon. Me and Tommy Stiggs. You know, he's like, let me, what was the name of the show? Damn it. The name of his show this morning was Let Me Explain Why I Did That. And so he, you know, brings everybody in and he's got his coffee and he's doing the show and he's like, all right, I'm going to explain why I did that. And he goes, go fuck yourself. Right. He's like, I ain't explaining shit. So go fuck yourself. You know, to the people that he's wanting an explanation. I'm not really of that care. I mean, I just won't explain it. I won't do a go fuck yourself. Because some things I do, if I want to explain it, I will explain it. And that's when I Sam-splain. But if there's something, and I don't know what he's talking about because I've missed his show for the past few days. But if it was something that I don't have to explain, it would be a big, you know, go F you. So, but I thought that was funny. But he's just an authentic dude and a good show to watch. And you'll see a lot of a lot of your friends in there if you go check it out. So go check it out. The Tommy Stiggs Social Club. Him and I will be doing something hopefully real soon. I keep getting these Sean Atwood notifications, and I know I never watch his show anymore. I just never do. And yeah, Gravel says, I love Tommy. Yeah, he is a cool cat. In federal prison, I hung out with a lot of the Italians. And we played a lot of bocce ball, and we talked a lot of shit to each other. Bocce ball is something I had never played until I went to federal prison back east. And when I went back east, most of the prisons have a bocce court, and it's basically like a lane, right? And it's real hard ground. You have these really hard balls, and you have a little white ball, and you throw the white ball down at the end. And then bocce means kiss. So you throw the white ball down there, and then you throw your balls. You know, there's two different colors, and they're real heavy, real like almost like granite. And you roll them down, and you can bank them, and you try to get as close as you can to the white ball, really until it kisses. I'm guessing that's why they called it bocce. And whoever's closest, you know, gets points, and you add up the points, and at the end they win. It is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. Tan Louise says, I'm happy to listen to whatever you want to say. Don't always understand some of it from this often lone Brit in the chat. Yeah, Tan Louise. I wish we had more people. I don't know what happened to Ian, and that's another thing. Reason why I want to talk about like the show and like kind of just do like a scorecard or a report card. It's not for anything but just to talk about the things that I haven't realized I've done wrong. And when I say wrong, I don't mean like because I've always kept it real. I've never like gone off script of me keeping it real. But the decisions of like maybe the viewers would like this to talk about this or to watch this. I always am coming from a place of love and of who I am and what I like, right? But yeah, I don't know what happened to our other Brits. I really miss Ian, man, and I think he made some comments or sent me an email. I can't remember, of him saying that he's been busy and that don't worry, I haven't done anything wrong to lose his sub, his subscribership. And I know I put on the thumbnail, do I deserve your sub? That all depends on why you're here, right? If why you're here is to find out more about yourself, or if you have recovery issues and you want to talk to me, if you're in this small trigger warning, if you feel suicidal and you just need somewhere to be that's safe, like if you're just in that ideation, step of suicidal, and I know this from experience, I've never been suicidal in my entire life, even at my lowest of lows with addiction and that momentary homelessness. I was never suicidal. As I got older, and now that I have Hazley in my life, there was a time last year where I didn't feel like I could provide, and I thought if I was gone, that the money that my family would receive would be enough for them to be provided for. And I thought about suicide, and that was last year. Now I got to put up my suicide thing since I'm talking about it. Because I don't want to. Substance abuse. Is that the one? To get one, if you have someone please call. Well, there's some numbers you can text or anything if you're going through any, if you have any problems, that if you feel suicidal or you have some addiction problems, feel free to call that number or to text that number, and they can help you out with anything you got going on. Thought I had a better one than that. Does that have the help number? No, let's put up this one. Oh, I need that in a banner. Sorry, guys, just 1 second. There we go. Yeah, so yeah, he really triggered something in me this morning, old Tommy Stiggs. And so I was just gonna like talk to you guys just about the show and about you guys, and I want to keep it honest and constructive and open, and I want you guys to know that you can participate in the chat if you want. Let me know. Like, don't hold back. Is there anything like oh, please, man, stop talking about racism and the race war that's going to happen. And I would want to know why that isn't important, because I feel like that is important, because there is a psyop going on in our country, trying to divide people. And I want to think of the solutions to help keep that from happening on this platform, on YouTube. I don't have a presence on any other platforms. So I will release content. Now, maybe the morning show isn't the place for it. And I can just do my videos that I upload, and maybe that's the place for it. And just, not here, we can talk about it a little bit here, but, I can just do my the little videos I upload to the channel, and I'll feel like I'm doing my part. I've been trying to get Cash Kelly on. I sent him an email. I haven't heard back from him. I know he'll respond when he sees it. So that'll be cool. I'm gonna try to get a hold or connect with Tommy Stiggs. I sent him my number today, and hopefully we can connect somehow. It's real funny, man. There's a certain someone that I had been emailing, and but then my birthday week happened, and I didn't look at emails for over a week, and didn't respond to emails for a while. And I was in some chats, and that person didn't respond to me or say hi like normal. And then I was in another thing, and as soon as I left, they came in and said, "Oh, hey." I was like, what is going on here, man? Because I know I've done nothing to this person. I don't know this person. I was trying to get to know the person better, wanted to do a show with them. And I just feel like it's fishy. But you know what? I can't, there's nothing I can do or say to for people to be my friend, right? They either want to be cool or not be cool. Because if you're my friend, you're pretty cool. It's really like one of only a handful of ways to be cool in this life is to be my friend, and to be around me, and to be a part of this show. So just know you guys are all pretty cool just for knowing me. And I'm kind of just joking on the square about that. Yeah, that's just I'm just telling you how it is, man. It's, lucky you guys. Not only do you I deserve your sub, there should be an entry fee. I'm kidding. There's no entry. Oh, speaking of money, I really want to thank Auntie Monkey Pants for the gift and donation that she sent, and to my wife. Thank you so much. It was wonderful, and it's going to something that was really needed. And I always want to thank John for his support last week, and the people that buy the super chats is always appreciated, and then also the gifted memberships, because for real, without those, I wouldn't be able to stay on. I really wouldn't. Not yet, not with the views yet. Eventually, the views will pay for itself once we get the views up and the membership up. But then what happens, and I'm seeing this because when I go to other shows, and their shows are so big, the creator isn't communicating with the chat, not even at all for the most part. It's the mods. They have a ton of mods, and the mods are communicating with, if there's ever any questions, anything, the mods are answering for the creator. And gosh, at that point, I really think we have lost the community, or at least, I guess not. I've lost the community, because you guys will be all in the community together, like you are now. Having conversations, checking in with each other. But then what am I doing? When it gets that big, am I just talking about subjects? I guess so. Yeah. The call-in show is going to be great. I think that's going to be a big hit, where I can actually talk to you guys a little more. the emails, I mean, for real, like I will respond to emails and I will try to keep up with them, but it's going to be, there'll be like a time where I'm like on it for 5 days and then I'm off it for 2 or 3 days, or 4 days. And then where I'm on it for like 3 or 4 days and then, where I'm off it, because remember, I still have to tattoo and I still have to pay some kind of attention to my legal channel. And I'm seriously thinking about combining the 2 channels, which will basically be me asking you guys to all just come over to Legal Livewire, I guess. I don't know. I don't think I can do that. I just don't think I can do that, because it's 2 different kinds of content, and it not only will script the algorithm, but like this is after the bars, and after the bars, we're trying to raise the bar and we're trying to stay out of the bars, and it's a recovery channel, and it's not so much as a legal channel, even though we like to watch legal stuff, and I do watch court cases here and comment on them, just as a commentator. So I don't think I can. I do this like once a month. I'll be like, yep, got to combine the channels. That way it's all one focus. But never mind. I talked myself out of it again. What if it's been months? That I haven't responded? Then if it's been more than a week, that I would ask politely and on my knees that you just resend it again, if that's what you're talking about. For real. And I know sometimes that's not fair to you guys, but that's it. Look, I can show you my text messages. See, it's 542 missed messages. There, I can turn that down. That's weird that it blurs it out like that. Oh, duh. It's 542 missed text messages. Why is it so blurry? But, and I've already answered 5 messages today, and I already have, at the top, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 new messages that have come in since I've answered messages this morning, about 30 minutes ago. It's the same thing with the email. And so it, you know, I can display 30 emails and I'll go down and then more emails are coming in and they just get lost in the queue. And it's not from me not wanting to answer the emails. I want to answer every single email. And so if it's been a while, please take that email and just forward it up to me again. And I'll try to catch it. And if I miss it twice, then I'm an asshole, right? Then I'm an asshole. And that I just, and I'm sorry, you know, I really am doing my best. I don't prioritize anyone's emails before another's. I just try to get them as they come in. Now, if I see something I've been waiting for, you know, in front of people, of course I'll go to that. Yeah, of course I'll go to that email. But I do set time aside to like, okay, I'm going to just start now and just go things. So I apologize if you've sent me something, Jen. I really do. I apologize. Now that we're talking about it, it makes me want to just go find it. I just like hit search and find it. But just know, as soon as we get off this show, I'm going to go straight to your email. I really am. I'm not whining. Oh, I don't think you're whining at all, Jen. I know. Please. Yeah. Yep. I didn't feel like you were whining at all or complaining to me. That didn't feel like that at all. I know that that's not what you were doing. You were just saying, okay, so what if it's been months? And then I gave an answer. No, Jen, yeah, I don't think it came off at all. And if anyone thinks that, please check yourself, because that's not what she was doing. John says, do camping shows. I want to see you in your campfire to get it going. Yeah. We are going to do camping shows. We surely are. I thought they were pretty cool. I'll set it up better next time. The last time we did it really fast. I was trying to figure out angles, how many cameras we would have. But where all the cameras and then what I'm like actually like doing it on is all coming from the same one Wi-Fi. I want to get Starlink to have Wi-Fi when we go camping. That's really what I want to do. It's about $500 at Best Buy to get the Starlink little module. That's well worth it. I think to have Wi-Fi wherever you go. I think it's well worth it. Kim has a question. What about doing a show about email replies? A little two birds with one stone. That's not a terrible idea. Where you just answer emails live. But then I would have to ask people in the subject line to say, do not broadcast. Do you know what I mean? That way I can, check, like I wouldn't, read something they wouldn't want broadcast, because I'm just going to open the email and be like, hi, this is from, Jen. Jen wants to know, blah, 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 blah. Or I think for the most part, the emails are kind of personal, but that is a great idea. That is a great idea in theory. Question, how's Mariana since all the things going on? Hope she and Hazley are doing good, and I second more camping vids. Well, you know what? We're going to do some camping vids then. I say we should even do a camping video of like getting the food ready or hanging out inside the camper or like the last time we went camping, we were right next to the Yellowstone River, and that river is super cool. Super cool. Yeah, I'm down for that. I'm definitely down for that, Grateful. And you're in Colorado, so you're in some beautiful country there for sure. Use a portable generator for Wi-Fi while camping. Yep, we had a generator. We were thinking it was going to be too loud during the thing. The generator's still locked, padlocked in the back of my truck. With one tank of gas, the generator generated power for the camper for 24 hours with 5 gallons of gas. That's pretty cool, but it is pretty loud. So we have to keep it on the other side of the camper. But it's not one of those quiet, camping generators. It's more like a generator that would run like a construction site. My friend got it for me at a pawn shop. He just bought it for me and said, if I ever need it, I'll ask you for it. So I thought that was super cool of him. He bought it the day before we went camping. Portable generators don't use gas. They're quiet. Portable generators don't use gas. They're quiet. Huh? My portable generator used gas. No, they have portable generators that run on gas that are quiet. They're specifically made for campgrounds that have like a decibel thing. We're camping on free camping. It's free camping on government property. They're campgrounds, but they're like it's like you can donate to them if you want, or but I think all generators use gas, if I'm not mistaken. There might be some solar generators. I mean, that doesn't use gas with solar panels. Huh. Yeah, what do I know? You know what I mean? What do I know, Nicole? I don't know a lot about, BLM. It's all BLM land. That's what I was trying to say. Thanks, Grateful. I actually worked for the BLM. This is a digress story. I worked for the BLM during some forest fires one time. I didn't fight the fires. They didn't ask me to do that, but I was a driver, and so I would drive to the grocery store and pick up all the groceries they ordered and bring them to base camp, to fire camp. And I was younger, and I thought, I thought I was cool, and I thought, I was like a first responder, so I was speeding back and forth to the fire camp. And whenever I would leave the fire camp, I would like do a sideways, slide my truck sideways to get out. And the guy warned me when I came back. He's like, hey, man, slow down, bro. He's like, you're good. There's no emergency here. And I did it again. I did it again. And, I got fired. I worked there 2 days and I got fired. And then, my father-in-law was like, I got you that job, and, you made me look bad. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, Stan, rest in peace, Stan. Yeah. Rest in peace. That was many, 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 many years ago. Stan was a good dude. He was real skeptical of me when he first met me, and I had no tattoos and never did drugs, but he was real skeptical of me. The first thing he said, he's like, do you do drugs? And I was like, no, I don't. He's like looking at me, I was a Hollywood guy, he hated that his daughter moved to Hollywood. He hated it. He hated it, but she was an actress and she was a comedian. And, she had got put on a show called, it was all part of the USA Network, Rhonda Up All Night. She got on a show called Shut Up and Drive, and she had to move to Hollywood. And that's when I met her. I met her in Hollywood. And we went to visit her parents, surprise, it's my new boyfriend. And then I was a fiance after that, I was just too cool. I did have an air about me that, the Midwest sucked, and I was a Hollywood dude, and I was around all these movie stars all the time, and I don't know, it was just, I just thought I was too cool. That didn't last long though, of me thinking that, and I didn't know that's how I thought. I'm just looking back at it, of thinking of how people saw me, and Stan in particular. And of course he asked me if I was doing drugs. I dressed pretty crazy, for the most part. I didn't, wherever we went, everyone would say like, you must be from California. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. So like, I get it. I get why he asked me that. But I hadn't done drugs at all. Fast forward a couple years later, when we lost his daughter. Yeah. I started doing drugs, and, it's just one of those things. But, James Collins Care says, did Hazley catch a fuss at the fire? Camping? No, she was an angel, man, for real. Yeah, it's funny. I am a whack job. Did Hazel catch a fuss? Like, while we were camping? She knows she did. Oh, a fish. I thought you meant like, did she start fussing? No, she did not. And her mom caught 2 fish. Which is crazy. On accident. One was a sucker fish that was real ugly and gross, and one was a catfish. And the people around us were pulling in rainbow trout. So, well, the people down from us caught rainbow trout, but then we found out later from a guy who fishes there. Now we know exactly where to fish. He said, yeah, you got to fish like a little farther down. You got to fish a little farther down to get the trout. So now we know where to go. Yeah, I thought it's funny. I thought you said catch a fuss. Rage Against the Machine. What's going on in this chat? In this chatty chat Chaskaruski. You're almost movie star career. Oh yeah, yeah. That I knew what you meant, didn't I? Oh yeah, I think I meant what you meant. You can pickle suckers. And I've had smoked carp, and carp are suckers, right? My dad used to smoke them when I was younger, and I mean they were hella fishy, but I ate it. I sure did eat it. What they said to do is to cut that sucker up. That sounded funny. To cut that sucker fish up and use for bait, and the trout love it. So that's what we're gonna do next time if we catch a sucker. When I told the guy we threw it back in, he got mad. He's like, "Oh no, you don't throw those back in. You just throw them in the trash." Yeah, he got mad, and I was like, "Damn." Or he's like, "Or give it to someone that's fishing." But we didn't know, man. We didn't know. We didn't know. It was our first time camping as a family, and it's the first time I've ever been camping where I was in charge of it. You know what I mean? It's always like, friends said, "Hey, you should come meet us at the campsite." Oh yeah, cool. Where they do all the work of finding the place and, getting the stuff. That's the first time ever, like, where I was actually in charge of putting this camping thing together. And really, Mariana did most of that because she's from here. So, yeah. That's what I said. Throw them in the trash, rude. No, we're about catch and release. I'm not going to throw one of God's creatures in the trash. But, I'm about to tell a story that's really going to blow you guys away. And it kind of relates to this, and it relates to old Stan and my wife. If I tell it that far, but speaking of, like, throwing them in the trash, how people feel about their sport of fishing, in California, and this is gonna really piss some people off that this is a thing, but I'm gonna talk about it, and we'll get to the what the show was going to be about, maybe, but the hope is we get to it eventually. But anyways, in California, I don't even know if I should be telling this story because I've really gotten some people pissed off, like I was the one doing it. Now it wasn't me, but in California and in sailing in general, like sailboats and fishing boats, sometimes they will shoot seals, and fishing boats, like big fishing boats, and maybe this isn't allowed anymore, and I don't think it was allowed then, but the fishermen consider seals to be the cockroaches of the ocean. And so dead or alive, it didn't matter to them. And I always was offended by that. But I'm around these deep sea fishermen, and they have like 22s and they kill these seals. And I was just like, what is going on? It just blew me away. And I've been on many fishing barges to go to the fishing boats. And the only reason why is because a friend of mine worked on that boat as a deckhand, and he would always invite me out, and we would just drop a line, and that was it. But I would see these fishermen on these fishing boats around where this barge is, because they're all fishing in this, like, area where all these fish are, and you would hear these like quiet 22 shots all the time, and they were shooting those effing seals, man. Yeah, grateful. I don't think it was legal then. I think it was just something that was unspoken, and they just did. And it was to, I don't know. It was because they scared the fish away, or because they ate the fish, or maybe they got tangled up in fishing nets. I don't know. But I told this story at dinner one time with my wife and her, rest in peace, and her sister and her dad and her mom were all having dinner. This was the first dinner I had with her sister, and I was talking about it. Now, back then, I was probably talking about it with a little more less, not letting them know how I felt about it first. I was just talking about how it was going on. And the sister flipped the F out. As well, she had the right to, right? But she over flipped out like I was a monster. And I was like, hey, it wasn't me. And she's like, were you fishing? I was like, yeah, my buddy was the deckhand on this barge and we would just drop a line. You know, there's these dudes on these boats, you know, they're calling them the cockroaches, and then she would flip out again. And she was like flipped out. And like, it took her a long time to get to like me. It took her a real long time to get to like me. But eventually she did. Am I Samsplaining? What am I Samsplaining? Seals were the competition to the commercial fishermen. Possibly. I don't feel like I've Samsplained shit yet. But you guys would know better than I. Because they're just words coming out of my mouth, however they come out. And it's official. My wallet has been stolen out of my truck. I've looked everywhere. I remember the last time I had it. I took money out of it and I threw it in my console of my truck, but I never locked my truck. I'm in Montana. I just never do. And because for the most part, I'm in like areas that there's not a lot of crime. But yeah, it's official. My wallet is effing gone. I adjusted a tattoo, so there was like $180 in there. And, you know, of course, my ID, and it's a real ID, so it means I'm going to have to go through that whole process again. And my passport and my birth certificate someone broke into our house and stole our little safe. So I don't even know how I'm going to get my ID. I think I can just go down there and give them the information. I matched the picture. The picture's me. I do have my temporary ID from the first time, though. I think I used that last time when I lost my ID. Yeah, the last time it was in my desk chair. Remember that? But that's when I had that wallet that was like this. It was like it was like an RFID wallet. I gave that to Hazley. She was looking for it yesterday. She loves that thing. She keeps all her little bills in there. Please read Lord's comment. Sam, please read Lord's comment. Okay. Back we go. There we go. I tried smoking a fish before. Damn thing wouldn't. Yeah, man. Good job, Chris. Read at Lord's comments. Everyone's telling me to read your comments. I'm sorry I missed them, brother. I'm not going backwards. I am now. I'm going to go back. That's right. You've done it. How far do I need to go back? I'm at East End Swing almost. Question: did Hazel catch a fuss? No, she did not catch a fuss. Yeah, Cliff Ann. It will give her great memories. Thank you for that. It already has. But you know what? When we came back, she's like, she couldn't wait to take a shower, and she said, "Man, that camping is a lot of work." That's what she said. She's so funny. I love you too, Woofy. I really do. Sam, read LFK's comment about fish. Okay, I did. Boy, you guys are really looking out for the LKF. See? Yeah. We'll talk about that when I do the scorecard. You just read it. All good now. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing to see here, officer. We're just reading comments over and over again. Just to fill the time. Just to fill the time. So yeah, I was gonna do like a scorecard, brief overview of what my mission is on YouTube, redemption, talk, recovery, and then real talk. We'll do live shows, courtroom analysis, call-ins, comedy, etc. I wasn't gonna. I did have a thing set up to where we could vote on how good my storytelling is and hook, visuals and thumbnails. How good are my thumbnails? My audio and mic present, clear, crisp, engaging. I would get 1 star on that, right, guys? Because most of the time I'm muted. Consistency. Am I dropping enough heat? To the videos. Editing and structure. We don't do editing. But the structure is, smooth paced, or is it chaotic? I'd probably get 5 stars on chaotic. Engagement. Am I building a community? I think so, for the most part. Am I staying true to my roots? Here's the deal. I don't think I'm building a community, though. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. I think we have a community, but is it growing? What can we do to make the community grow or help the community grow? That's when I start thinking, okay, I need to do like some edgy content. And when I do the racism stuff, I don't consider that to be too edgy. That's just what's happening with the Carmelo Anthony thing. And what's her name? The racist chick up in Canada. That's right. I said it. She's a racist. She's trying to say she's not racist. She called that little kid what he was. What? Yeah. And we're calling you what you are. A fucking racist. You racist piece of shit. So, yeah, I couldn't believe that. And then she has this chick that supports her go on, Pierce Morgan, who was like, yeah, free speech. She gets to say whatever she wants. Okay, then we get to tell you you're effing racist too. Like, look, don't be mad. You're embracing it. You're smiling, looking at me saying, yeah, that little kid for, going in that bag is a little N-word. What? Okay. First of all, 5-year-olds will be 5-year-olds. That 5-year-old didn't go in that bag to steal, but because you're a racist and because that kid is black, you think that little 5-year-old is like looking around and going in bags. No, he's just like, oh, he sees a bag. Woo, whoa, cool toys. It was a toy bag. He was stealing your kid's little Etch-a-Sketch or his little, his little Bluey doll. Miss me with that, you racist piece of shit. Miss me with it. But I guess what I'm saying is there's factions that are using her, oh, now her life is being threatened. And when 2 years ago, she'd have been canceled, no job, no nothing. And I'm not saying that that's right either. The whole woke thing, cancel culture. I'm just saying 2 years ago, that's what would happen. So, but now she's a millionaire. So I don't know where I was going with that. I didn't want to start talking about that. I got a little heated. Hey, Galen. Did I miss Galen coming in? Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Good to see you. I'm sorry. I'm going to eat these fish. I haven't eaten anything all day. They're making me gleek, though. I know there's gonna. No, I'm not gonna say it. It's gross. And I bet you there's other creators out there that know what I was gonna say just now. After I said I was talking about gleek, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna," and I was like, "No, that's gross." Yeah. James Collin cares. Trust me. I thought about it. Well, don't be woke. Be aware. That's right. James Collins cares. I'm sorry, I got to get back to his comment. Where are you at? Where are you at? Damn it. There you are. I want money. Wonder if I could get loaded for saying some stupid shit. I thought about it. I thought about like, what could I do? And I could do it as an experiment, right? I could like have a secret members only chat, or like not a secret members only, but like I could do like a Zoom chat with all of you guys where it would just be private. It wouldn't be on YouTube. And I would say, okay, I'm going to come out and say the N-word on some fake ass shit, right? Just be a fake racist. And then make it go viral. It'd be easy to make it go viral because I would make it like super public. Right. And be like, what? And then do a GoFundMe or a Give Send Go and be like, look, man, someone just firebombed my truck. You know, I'm fearing for my life. And then we would all split the money. We would get like $1 million, or we would at least get 500 grand. Let's do a Meet the Mods live. Yeah. Do you want to do it? Oh, like live on the show? Yes. You guys want to do that tomorrow? Let's do it tomorrow. Where is Sherry LeBron? I haven't seen her in a while. Did she get a day job? Yeah, I haven't seen her. I feel like I haven't seen her in a while. I did see she commented on a replay. I haven't seen Russ Allen in a while too, but I know he works. I mean, I texted him on Sunday that I just couldn't do. I couldn't do a yard time on Sunday. Oh, there she is. Hey, Sherry. Hey, girl. Okay. Did I say hi to her? Did I say good morning to her? You Magoo, LOL. They're both were here. Well, I thought I saw someone saying hi to Russ earlier. Okay, cool. Hey, Russ. I won't do a hey, girl. Hey, man. What do gay horses eat? Hey. I think I told that joke already. I know I have a friend who loves it when I see her. I go, "Hey, girl." She cuts hair. Yep, she loves it when I do that too. Don't be woke, be aware. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. The shirt I'm wearing is one of my shirts from my old Tat Swag line. I'll show it to you guys. It's a skateboarder. It's one of my old shirts. It's not one of my Sinners Never Sleep. Wasn't in that line. Well, we're one of the same James Cons. We already know that. We are the same person, but just in different countries. Karma. Is Karma here? Hey. Karma, you belong here. I don't know why you wouldn't think so. I feel like we were talking about something and it was unfinished, though, me and you. Was it email that we were talking about that? But I love you to death, and I want you to be here always. Always. You're missed when you're not here. I'm just saying, Karma. And I know when you're not here because I don't sing the Karma Chameleon song. Ads again in the lives. Oh my God, dude. Why is that not staying off permanently? Okay, I got it. I went and changed it in the upload defaults, and I turned it off. Right here, monetization off. Yeah, I could care less about ads during the live. Okay, it's off. Please let me know if it gets turned on again tomorrow. And then I will see what I'm doing wrong. I will get a hold of a creator friend who has a huge channel, and I will see what I can do, what I'm doing wrong. Okay, guys. Yeah, right, Galen? Galen says, Karma Chameleon XO, when I see your name, it makes me smile and sing a song. I know, same. It really does. There we go. I'm using the light from the computer screens to light my face. See how I do that? Watch. I know you guys are like, who cares? I said watch. Now, okay. I can light this side of my face with this screen, or I can light the entire face. Anyways. Oh, now I have no light. Hold up. I got the blunts rolled up. I said, hold up. I got the blunts rolled up. A celly of mine used to sing that song all the time. He was a big E40 fan. He was from Seattle. He owned a bunch of head shops, like, where they sell like weed and bongs and stuff like that. Or not sell weed, but like sell stuff to smoke weed with. He owned a bunch of head shops, and he got busted for selling acid out of his shops. And he did a bunch of Fed time. Super cool dude named Matt Peters. Super, super good dude. He'd been down the Costa Rica way too. Down to the Pura Vida. Hanging out with those ticas down there in the Costa Rica. Oh yeah, so I wanted to play something. Did you guys know that, because we are a prison talk show too, that or or maybe I should save this for yard time. No, I'm going to talk about it now. And we'll talk about it too in yard time. That Trump hired a pardon czar, someone to manage the people that are getting pardons. And I'm just wondering what you guys feel about that. I know how I feel about it. I think it's amazing because of this chick right here and her story. We're going to watch this for a second.
Chances, few embody that better than my next guest. She was once sentenced to life behind bars for a first-time nonviolent drug offense until President Trump stepped in and gave her the freedom she deserved.
She has been just so outstanding, and I'm so proud of you. And we're giving Alice a full pardon. That means you can do whatever you want in life and just keep doing the great job you're doing.
Now, Alice Marie Johnson is leading the charge as the president's pardon czar, working to bring hope to those still trapped in a broken system. I sat down with Alice to learn more about the road ahead for reform and why redemption matters more than ever. Alice, thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Was that the Kardashians?
Your story is so incredible. When you think back on all of it, I mean, it could be a movie script. It could be a book that people would say, this couldn't even be real. Do you pinch yourself sometimes thinking about all of it?
I do every single day that I walk into this building. I've gone from prison house to the White House. And it's just incredible to me that my life would take a full circle journey. 7 years ago, I was sitting in a prison cell.
Wow. It is really remarkable. And then you're here today. You are President Trump's pardon czar.
Yes.
What does a pardon czar do? And how do you determine the people who you then take to the president and say, maybe you should consider a pardon for this person?
It's really easy for me because I've lived it.
She is lovely.
And so the president has entrusted me with this mission to help him find those people who deserve this second chance, who are similarly situated, not just like me, but who have served enough time, who have paid their debt to society. Plus, there are those who have been, I'm going to say, the victims of lawfare, the same way our president was.
You were a first-time nonviolent offender.
Yes.
And you were given a life sentence without the possibility of parole. Were you prepared for that sentence? And did you feel at all that what you had done warranted that?
Absolutely not. I was not prepared for it. And I definitely did not think that it was warranted. Never been arrested before. Never was criminally minded. Just a bad situation came into my life where under duress, I made a very bad decision to become involved in something that I didn't think it would lead to this. I've never sold drugs. I've never used drugs. And to be labeled with even a queen pin, if I was the worst one in history. But thank God that my case came to the attention of President Trump, and he had compassion on me. He was the first one who really pulled back the layers to my case to say, this is wrong. I had appealed to President Obama 3 times and been turned down all 3 times. But when it came to President Trump, he is the reason I'm sitting here today.
You got the same sentence as serial killer Charles Manson.
Worse.
So why do you think you were given that sentence?
They really came for me very strongly. When my attorney told me that they were offering me 3 years, he said, don't take it. He said, there's no way you're going to be found guilty because you have no money, you have no drugs. But little did I know about conspiracy, that someone can come and testify about something to save themselves.
In 1 second.
And then I could be sentenced like this. So when they told me life plus 25 years, it was unbelievable. My family couldn't believe it. I thought it was a mistake.
To go from this moment where you're given a life plus 25 years sentence without the possibility of parole to 2020, President Trump giving you a full pardon.
Sherry, we're going to talk about that.
That moment when you heard, Alice Marie Johnson, you've been fully pardoned by President Donald Trump.
When President Trump gave me the full pardon, I felt that my life was starting all
Rhonda,
over
we're going to talk about
again,
that too here in a second.
not knowing that I would be advocating and fighting so hard for the freedom of others. President Trump had asked me to go find people like myself, and I brought many to the White House, and President Trump gave those individuals a second chance also.
Do you know the number? How many people you've allowed to have that second chance?
I sent over 100 clemency and pardon petitions to the White House when President Trump asked me to look for them. Over 46 people really were able to get a second chance in life.
Wow. That probably gives people a lot of hope. People who either have been wrongfully convicted, they've had a sentence like yours that just went way above and beyond anything that should have been appropriate. Do you think about yourself back whenever you were in prison and
Yes.
thinking, would anyone even care if I'm here?
I know that it gives families and prisoners around the nation
Look at that.
hope that someone like
Look
me
at that.
has
Isn't that
been
amazing?
elevated to the position of pardon czar. For the President of the United States, they see themselves in me. They see themselves with the ability to move beyond their mistakes and to go into a future that they're not defined by the worst thing they've done in their lives. I really represent what America is about, second chances, the grit to come back even stronger as a nation, that we've gotten beyond our mistakes from our past. We've learned from them. We have grown from them. We are not a perfect nation. We are an imperfect nation, striving for excellence, striving for the ability to be a beacon to the rest of the world.
Would your story have been possible in any other country?
No, absolutely not. Only someone like President Trump could make my story possible. We needed someone right at that moment. And in this time we're in
The
now,
adoration
who
she
has
has
the
for him.
courage to make right decisions. And there are so many
amazing.
others who
I
are
know I'm
serving
gonna start
long,
crying. Great.
unnecessary sentences, who pose no safety risk and who have rehabilitated, who deserve that second chance.
What would be your hope over the next 4 years while President Trump is in the White House, while you are his pardon czar?
There are laws that have to be changed because even in my position, I'm not going to be able to find everyone. I am going to find as many as I possibly can find, but I'm also going to be advocating and looking at the things that are out there on the law, on the books that need to be changed, but to also do what the president has entrusted me to do. And that's find those individuals who need that second chance. Those individuals who had lost hope in a system that was totally corrupt. We now know it's not about how much money you have. If you have a corrupt system in
I'll let it
place,
play out.
there is no one safe.
For those people out there who might just be in a dark place of their own, what is your message of hope to anybody who's facing something really tough right now?
The message I will give to them is the sun is going to shine again. Don't make a decision in your life based on a dark time in your life. I want to just tell you about an amazing young man who was caught in a prison called addiction. He's someone who I'm advocating for. But this young man had committed different crimes, petty crimes, misdemeanors. They were all related to his addiction. But he's been clean for 14 years now. He's gone on to get his degree from Columbia, a bachelor's.
Wow.
And now he's about to graduate from Yale University. And he's someone that I'm looking at for a full pardon because he needs that ability to pass his bar and to practice law. And he's someone that will be a beacon of hope for those caught in addiction. There's so many cases that I've been looking at and reviewing that I'm hoping that these people will get a second chance. And I think that these individuals will give hope to others the same way I've given hope, that someone sees you, someone hears you, and that someone understands.
Alice's passion is inspiring, but
I love
she's
her.
not the
So Karma Chameleon says, I have always been intrigued with her story. I'm glad it's her, not him, deciding who gets pardoned. She's an amazing human. Agreed. She's an amazing human. And agreed that I'm glad it's not him either. And I think Karma and I's reasons for that are possibly different. Mine are just because if it's him, say he lets out a bunch of, Mexican guys or black guys, then it's like, oh, it's for an opportunity to be seen as not racist, or it's for it's for an election cycle or something like that. If it's her, all that is out the window. And so I'm glad it's her, and he is trusting her to just slide those across his desk, and he's signing them. And you can see she's being really considerate when it comes to the applications that are coming across her desk. Out of 100, she only granted 46. She's just not signing them willy-nilly. I'm like, yep, this guy gets it, this guy gets it, this guy gets it. She's really looking into the cases and making sure that it's not just some guy so he can come out and start committing crime again. Because I assure you, lots of guys that have these big long life sentences are trying to get pardons that are not good guys. And hopefully she has discernment to sift through those, and that she preys on them, and she does all the right things to get the right people out that deserve to come out. But a lot of people were sent away for a very long time with those sentencing guidelines for those minimum mandatories for drugs, conspiracy. Conspiracy is a thing that I think is unconstitutional. And I've talked about this before. I talk about it when I do my testimony, that, only 11 states, and it might be less now, have conspiracy on a state level for a state level charge. And the other 39 states consider conspiracy to be unconstitutional. And I agree with that. But it just hasn't been won over in the Supreme Court yet on a federal level. Now, Sherry says, Sherry, let me get to Boho's real quick. Bo says, good God, guys, how can I get this lady's attention for my help for my friend Randy? Well, it just so happens I have an in on getting this lady's attention. And it's with he's also a creator, but he does law work to get people out soon. And I was trying to help Tommy get Q out with this guy, and Tommy ignored my text every time I asked for it. And then finally he sent me a message. I was like, okay, what about Q? What about Q? I'm trying to get him help. No, I don't want I don't want anyone else looking at it because I don't want to screw up his chances of what I got going on for him. What? Doesn't even make sense. Well, it makes sense, but we can just tell this guy, like, hey, don't file nothing yet because he's got, stuff happening. But it would be nice to have another set of eyes, or this person can say, no, like, look, I can override the stuff you have going on for your friend Q, but turns out Q's not real. So, and if that's not proof that it wasn't real, like, you would be like, yeah, you have an in to get, something across this lady's desk through this guy. And the guy is, I was on his podcast. It was the Blood on the Razor Wire. He does Blood on the Razor Wire. He just, talks to people that have gotten out of prison. Anyways, now I think she only does federal cases, but I think if Randy's stuff has gone to the Supreme Court, I think then she can look at it and then encourage the governor to pardon your buddy. I'm going to look into that, because the guy she was talking about that's gone to college, has gone to Yale, and he's in prison, that they don't do that in the feds. That you can only do that through in a state system to go to college, unless it's something new that I just don't know about, right? And then Sherry says, what about how we were all lied to for years about Biden being sick, or is that too controversial? The government and the media all lied hard to know what to believe anymore. That's right. And I was going to talk about that tomorrow, about Biden's cancer diagnosis, and like it's really bad. Like he doesn't have long, and that sucks, man. You know, that's we will pray for him that he gets a heart change, and that, you know, that he goes to heaven. You know, but yeah, I want to talk about that in more detail. I want to say tomorrow, but it might be the next day if we do the Meet the Mods show tomorrow, or we could probably do both in the same show. I don't know. What do you think? Yes. Yeah, definitely pray for him, Sherry. Yep. I've always prayed for him. And I am not a Biden fan. Kim says Q is as far as he can get in the alphabet, probably. Oh, yeah, it's funny. Good times. Yeah, there might be something. I think if he's been to the Supreme Court and been denied in appeals, I think she can look at it then, as long as it's gone to something federal. I'm going to look into that more. Hey, Laura May. I'm always excited when Laura May pops in. Good to see you, Laura May. Good to see you. Did I start anything else? Nope, just those things. Oh, Grateful, thank you so much for the gifted memberships. I really appreciate you. I do. Little you in Colorado. Oh, I hope that wasn't a dox. Karma says, I've actively avoided the news for about 4 years. I can't take politics. It makes me lose faith in humanity. Agreed. I just, you know, I didn't pay attention to politics for so long, Karma, that I feel like forever I didn't pay attention. And then, you know, you go to prison, and then, you know, a certain president has his foot on your neck, and then you start watching politics, and then you kind of pick a side. I'm going to just talk about my story with politics. Like, I didn't really start paying attention to politics until I was 47. So about 10 years ago. And you know, I picked a side. You know, I was like, okay, I'm a conservative. And then I was like, I'm a neocon, you know. And then I was like, wow, man, these guys really don't do any social stuff, you know, like, you know, helping the poor. And so I was like, oh, so I started moving towards the center, but I didn't want to be a Democrat, because I didn't like any of the people that were on the Democratic side, like that were, you know, arguing to be, you know, in the Democratic, in the primaries. I didn't like anything any of those people had to say. It all seemed real phony. I mean, even Obamacare was a conservative healthcare idea with what was his name? He was a Mormon. The Mormon guy. I was on the tip of my tongue. Hey, Thompson. I was on the tip of my tongue. Ramsey. No, not Ramsey. Who was the Mormon guy who was a conservative, tried to run for president? Starts with an R, I think. Yes, very tribal. Yes, he left politics. Mitt Romney. Thank you, Shell Dub. Thank you, Grateful. Yes, Mitt Romney. That Obamacare is almost to the T Mitt Romney's idea for healthcare. And you know, and that was taken. I never did do my show on the how Trump had taken all these liberal left ideas and platforms, or whatever you want to call them, and he basically stole them for himself and made them Republican. There's a whole list of it, and that's one of them. well, that's one that has been taken from the conservatives away from the Democrats. Or, that was taken from us for the Democrats, but it's of that nature, right? That's how we got so many votes, was because of all the left ideas that Trump had taken. But anyways, back to my story. And so, I picked a side. I thought I was a conservative. Then I thought I was a neocon. And then I was like, wait a minute. These guys are, they're all about business and growing and employment, which is great. And fiscally, I like the conservatives, but I didn't feel like there was a heart there, like a true beating, like heart for humanity, right? That was more on the left. But then when you get just past middle left, and I don't mean from the center, I mean, so like, say here's the center and then here's far left, like there's this place in the middle there. That's kind of where I reside with some of those policies, and that takes me way off center. So then I have to bring it back to center with fiscal. Anyways, I did this whole mind fuck about it. Excuse my language, guys. I know I've said the F word a bunch in the beginning, but like when I'm talking about this, I don't want to use the F word, because I use the F word only when you want to be down in that low energy, right? So I'm just saying. Anyway, I just Sam-splain using the F word. But you know what I mean. When I'm trying to articulate something intelligent, I don't want to use profanity, because then it becomes unintelligent. So that's kind of where I landed. And so it's disheartening when you look at the right, and it's disheartening when you look at the left, and when you land somewhere in the middle, man, something real happens. And Tim Pool is someone I've been listening to a lot lately. And I don't know if I'm a fan yet. I'm trying to figure it out. If I'm a fan of Tim Pool yet. He's an ex-Democrat that's gone over to the right a little bit. He's in the center. Trump was a Democrat. I know a lot of people hate Trump, and I'm not a super Trump supporter, but I'm a Trump supporter. But anyways, what is it? Got to go. Emmylou D. Baker is calling my name. The Karen Reed trial is my new addiction. Same here. The only reason why I stopped covering it, Danette, is because there's too many people out there doing it better. Her, AV, it's like AV something. She's a cute little girl. It's got like long curly hair, super cute. She's killing it at that. And so I just not covering it. I'll do updates as they come. But they're doing it better. So I would send people there, but good. Go have fun over there, Danette. Thanks for stopping in. We really appreciate you every time you do. We love you. We love you over here at After the Bars. We appreciate you. Is that who I'm thinking of? Melanie Little. Her logo has like the gavel and the AV something. Now I want to find her. She'll come right up in my feed because I watch her a lot. Oh, AV to the 7th power. That's who I'm talking about. AV to the 7th power. She covers it really good too. But anyways, guys, I don't know if we really got to the hey, Rosanna Dana, good to see you. She comes in with the Mitt Romney. Thanks. Yeah, the back to the scorecard and grading the channel, or doing a self-reflect. Am I doing the right thing? You know what? I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. The channel's not growing, but that's okay. As long as I get to be here with you guys. And I think the morning show that's all it's going to be. I'm just going to be here with you guys. I'm not going to show prep, super hardcore and try to have this dialed in show. I'm going to pick a topic and we're going to run with it like we did today. That's what we're going to do. It seems to work when I do it. I don't seem to be fumbling around for words and ideas. It's only 3 a.m. in Australia. Stoked to catch the live. Much love to you and yours. Hey, thank you so much, Skimble Shanks. Thank you for being here. Yeah. Man, I wish it wasn't so early there. So if I did the show later in the day, I would be able to get more people from Australia and the UK. So I've thought about that. Or maybe do 2 shows. I don't know. I do have to tattoo. That's right, Rhonda. You'll never get a conservative to admit they hate Obamacare. They're trying to get rid of it, Sam. Make it make sense. I think they're trying to change it. I don't think they're trying to get rid of it completely. I think at first they were trying to do that. And then they realized that's not, first of all, it's not compassionate, but it's not logical or even doable to get, because then now you're going to have a bunch of sick people like myself. I have Medicaid. So now what? Now I don't get my lumbar injections. Now I don't, I'm only here today because I can get a lumbar injection. If not, I'd be laying in bed trying to get up to do a tattoo on all kinds of pain meds, right? So what? And I'm just one guy. Just think of all the millions of people that are on it. So yeah, it's impossible to do. Yeah, well, I guess I don't know enough to talk about it, Kim. That was my understanding, is that they were trying to do that, and yeah, I agree, V. McWilliams, and good morning to you. It's good to see you. I agree. I think because I've been trying to do like shows not about me and you meaning the community, is that it's kind of stunning it, and I lose viewers, because I'll come on some mornings and be like, racism, race baiting. Well, the race baiting one that was my response to Reese's race baiting. And I don't even think I mentioned her name maybe one time in the whole thing, but yeah, we'll talk, Kim. Let me know what's going on with that topic. I'm really, really interested in it. Here we go. Love to chat with you about streaming. I'm a criminology graduate from the University of Melbourne. Badass. And a former dancer with the Royal Ballet in London. Super badass. I've told you my daughter danced ballet, my oldest daughter, until she was 27, 28. Yeah. And she is gorgeous. I don't think I've shared pictures of her yet. I have some ideas and questions. Do you have an email? Yes, I do. Can somebody put my email up? It's inside the mind, letter X. So inside the mind X @gmail.com. And just put in the subject line that you want to talk to me about about streaming. And I can't wait to get your email. Thank you. Caddy Connie says, I think I've been totally traumatized by the Diddy trial. Laughed my ass off. I've only been checking in on it. I thought I was going to watch it full time and like even do some updates here. I want nothing to do with it. I really don't. I want nothing to do with Diddy or his trial. Like I'm definitely going to watch it, a little bit because I want to know what's happening. But there's so many things wrong with him and as a person but in turn there's so many things wrong with how how they've indicted him and how they are trying to convict him and what they've done. There's a lot of things wrong with but that's fine. Good. Send him away forever. Kill him. I don't care. I don't care about him. But legally, they've and some reasonings why what they're doing is there's some wrong there. That's the only way I can articulate it. And that's scary because that can be anybody. And that can be someone that doesn't deserve it. And next thing you know, they're filing, their letters are on the pardon czar's desk. So, it's a lot. It's a lot. Well, guys, I think that's it. I have a tattoo to do today at noon. So I'm going to cut it just a tiny bit short. An hour and a half. That's a good show. Jeez. What do you want from me over here? Expect a show with me and Tommy Stiggs soon. Hopefully, that'll be exciting. Tommy, I'm challenging you to do a show with me. Not like we're gonna like debate or anything, but let's do it. Let's do it. I don't know what I'm talking about over here. Sam, that's crazy that you say that about the wrong things happening to the Diddy trial. Larry, who is a lot like you and has a channel, has been saying that from the start. So it's crazy you said about the wrong things happening at the Diddy trial. Larry Lawton, who is a lot like you, has a channel saying that from the start. Oh, I'm gonna have to check him out. For sure. Yeah, but it couldn't be happening. It couldn't be happening to a better guy, right? You know what I mean? But it will. It will. Yeah, he said this morning, he's like, he wanted my email so we can talk. He thinks we could have a pretty cool show. I do too. I think so too. I was in prison with a lot of guys like him, and I hung out with those guys. We ate together. We spreaded together, meaning we cooked food together. And I like his style. Tommy Stiggs, I think he's 1,000,000% authentic. Like I haven't said that about anybody yet on YouTube. So he spent decades in federal prison, has been saying that Diddy has been prosecuted unfairly. He also agrees that he is guilty, but says they're going about it the wrong way. Yep, they absolutely are. Yeah, I'm going to go check him out while I'm driving to work today. Absolutely. Dude, I want to tattoo you, man. Lord Kiss Freak says, I need a tattoo from Sam. We have to do it at the border with each other on our own side. That's right. I have a travel pack. Look, check it out. Check it out, guys. You want to see something cool? I'm going to show you something cool. You see this right here? That's a backpack. That's my travel pack. With this pack, I will work. I will tattoo with this pack. This pack is full. See how it says Tatsoul? This is full of tattoo equipment. Like really expensive tattoo equipment. And I will travel. I take that pack with me, and people at the airport all know I'm a tattoo artist. I mean, it was cool when I was single, right? Because I could be at the my lips always look like they have something on them when I'm doing this live, and I hate it. When I'm in the airport and I'll be standing there with my, my backpack, going to tattoo in Michigan. I tattoo on someone famous in Michigan. I'm not allowed to say who, but I'll travel to Michigan to tattoo, and I'll have my pack, and girls will come up to me and be like, "Hey, are you a tattoo artist?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, I just do private, only private appointments only. I try to be cool, Well, I used to before I was married and a Christian, but yeah, it was a really cool way to meet girls. Just walking around with your tattoo travel pack at the airport. Yeah, I got a lot of phone numbers that way. Larry knows a little bit about Randy's case. I have communicated with him about it. Oh, cool. Cool. Yeah, dude, I'm ready to head to the border. I mean, I think I can get across the border. I know I know they are, no felons, but like I've gone across the border without even before I was a felon, but maybe the rules have changed getting across the border. But I mean, I've gone across the border really without even showing an ID before. They just like kind of look in the car and like, where you guys headed? Tell them, I'm going to Vancouver or to Victoria. And they're just like, all right, have fun. But maybe things have changed. I don't know. It's been a long time. Kim says, how so? I am curious. I don't know. Yeah, he's definitely not thinking. He always has a positive vibe. Yeah, even when he's like, like, I mean, I've never seen him mad, but like when he's like, yeah, here's my explanation. Go fuck yourself. That he says it in a positive way. And like, that's how I feel like that. Right. But then I don't want to, but I feel like I can't, it's not that I can't be myself. I don't know, man. It's my growth is stunted there somehow. And I'm trying to figure it out. Right. I'm trying to figure it out. Lork History says it's not that easy anymore. Okay. Okay. Enough said. Yeah. I mean, I get it. I understand why it's not that easy anymore. I've also said Eminem. Oh, I hope it's Eminem that you're tatting. I will feel cool just by association. Yeah. I just really can't say. I really can't say. Like legally, I can't say. I've signed things. Yeah. But I did tell you guys I did tattoo the diddler. Do you guys know that story? Do all you guys know my I tattooed Diddy story? And look, I told this. I'm online telling this story way before he got indicted and all that. Yeah. Yep. I used to tattoo his head chef. His head chef had a food truck down in Venice Beach. And I started tattooing his head chef. Yeah, the Dame Diddler. No, no, I was tattooing his head chef, and his head chef said, "Hey, you should come to the house and tattoo. There's always people coming in and out. Maybe you can tattoo on some famous people, or you'll make a lot of money if you come to the house." So I took my travel bag and went to the house and tattooed the chef. And lo and behold, Diddy's got a portrait of his grandmother on it, but without her name. And the portrait wasn't even that good. I don't know where he got the portrait from. And so I tattooed his grandmother's name one night, and he offered me money. I said, nope, free of charge. And he's like, oh, well, okay. Let me give you a tip, and he gave me a tip. And yeah, it was a cool thing. And he never said, don't say anything, didn't make me sign an NDA or something or nothing like that. But with the person I tattoo in Michigan, eventually, when I finish what I'm doing on him, we are going to do like a little video, and he's had twice someone there filming us. So there will be a video of me tattooing him eventually. I don't know what he's doing it for. He's getting older, so I don't know if it's like a life thing. And the tattoo we're doing is kind of like a life story type thing. Things there are things from each part of his life that are in it. So yeah, yep, yeah. I got all kinds of pictures of me at the airport in Michigan, going back and forth. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I almost wish I could say, because I'd give me a little clout, but we're not a tattoo channel. This isn't a tattoo channel. But I'm a tattoo guy. Yeah, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I mean, I'm hurting right now, so I wish you'd get a hold of me for a session. I did email him last week. No, 2 weeks ago. When it was before Mother's Day, our friend was killed on Mother's Day. It was right before that. And but he's real busy right now with some political stuff. But so Sam, now the haters are going to say you were at a Diddy party. I mean, technically, I never thought of it like that, but technically I was. I hope they do say I was at a Diddy party. Motherfuckers. You know what I'd say? I'd say, get the fuck out of here with that. Boy, I think I've said the F word today more than I've ever. Thanks, Tommy. Tommy Stiggs set me on a set the pace today for me. I'm gonna blame it on Tommy. Yeah, I'm gonna blame it on Tommy. He set the pace for me today. Go fuck yourself. That's what I'm gonna say if they say I've been at a Diddy party. Yeah. Have gun will travel. That's right, man. I love Dillinger. Have I showed you guys these pictures of my tattoo shop in LA? That I airbrushed all the gangsters on the wall. I had of course, Al Capone. I had Dillinger, Babyface Nelson, and then I had like a car, like an old school car with machine guns. We're gonna have to have a picture day where I show all my pictures. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah. My wife's friend was her life was taken by her husband and her 2 kids on Mother's Day. It's very sad. Law and Crime actually just did a show on it. But they didn't say anything. It was the weirdest show. They just had a guest come on and say, what type of people do this? But of course they clickbaited it with my wife's friend's situation. They clickbaited it with that description and then didn't say anything about it because there's nothing been released about it yet. And something was supposed to be released on Monday, yesterday, but nothing has. So why don't I do art and sell that? I used to, I've told you guys I've sold a painting to Nicolas Cage, and that was a long time ago. I've sold some other paintings to no one famous, but I've sold artwork before. I can sell, tattoo artwork, or I could do paintings and so, but now it's just another thing, right? That I have to make time for. And so and that's really the reason why. It would seriously, if I did it, it would take away from what I'm doing now. So yeah, Ben. Jeez, man. My man. It's good to see you, Ben. All right, guys. Well, now that Ben's here, we better get out of here. just kidding. I love you, Ben, man. I wish you were here more like you used to be. That's cool. I know you got other channels you watch in the morning. I get it. Oh, I know. You're just mad because we haven't done our Rush show yet. Let's do a Rush show tomorrow. Boy, I got a lot of shows planned for tomorrow. Anyways, not like in the morning. We can just like come on and do a Rush show. Talk about Rush, or just talk about each other. Maybe it could be you, me, and Laura Kiss Freak. We'll just talk about music. I would love that. I'll get a practice pad. And we'll do rudiments and stuff. Paradiddles. Paradiddle, 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 paradiddle. I'm just reading. Oh, what's that? I did lighting for some of his movies. I think Ghost Rider was the last one. That is so cool. I was a grip for a long, long time. I talk about it in my testimony. Yeah, I was a grip for Rally Studios for a little bit. I was a grip I did like a MASH unit type grip. So when they would do the pickup scenes when they were in post-production, they'd have to refilm. I was on a grip team that would do all those shoots for different production companies. But it was called MASH Grip something, and yeah, it was super cool. Yeah. Paradiddles rock. That's right. Yeah, that's cool, Skimble Shanks. I'm so glad you found us, man. Yeah. Hang on to the show a little bit, man. But man, 3:00 in the morning. Well, definitely try to catch the replays. But man, we would love to have you here live. That would be awesome. That'd be awesome. I don't know what your schedule is like, but yeah, that would be so cool. Get a grip, dude. Yeah. Rally Studio was the studio that Kevin Costner owned after Waterworld. He took that $300 million he made off Waterworld and started Rally Studios. And then I don't know how long that lasted though. Or he started Rally Studios to make Waterworld. I can't remember. It was something to do about Waterworld, that movie. But yeah, I have a lot of grip stories, and I talk about how, as a grip, you call a clothespin a C47, and, a regular light is a practical, like a light bulb is called a practical. And yeah, I talk about grip stuff sometimes. Oh, cool. Yeah. But yeah, no, I just mean like, daily when we do the show for you to come in, to participate in the chat. That would be super cool. We start it at normally around 9:00 Mountain Standard Time here in the States. But if that's 3:00 in the morning where you're at, that's crazy. That's crazy. And I love you. What is that? Is that a kitty cat in your avatar? Or is that like a gremlin? I can't see the picture. your avatar. But anyways, welcome to the show. Have you been to the show before? Have you been on the show before? No, I'm curious. Or is this the first time you've seen the mess that we call the Morning Mayhem show? Super curious. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to kill it before the 2-hour mark. Worked here in Australia for Big Power, then Channel 10. Was touring with Steve Earle for a bit in America. That's my ragdoll cat. Yeah, that's cool. Well, that's super cool. Super cool. 3 a.m. in Tasmania. You are solar. You're in. Man, that is. Are you guys just waking up or just going to bed? Okay, I'll look for your email. Okay, guys, that's it. I love you guys. If you, I'm checking emails right after the show. If you have an email you want me to see, to look at, or to respond to, I'm going to spend the next 45 minutes before I go tattoo on emails. So if you need to get something in front of my eyes, send it now and I will see it. I will go back a little bit and look, but anyways, you guys have an amazing day and try to improve someone else's life, right? With a compliment, with a hug, with an I love you, just anything with one person, man, that would make me feel so much better, or make me feel good. So much better. I feel all good already.
Oh wow, well this has been a journey. This has been a journey for us, like a journey through from legal troubles to mental health issues to my own struggles to your struggles, sharing your struggles with me. I appreciate you and thank you for that. Yeah. Good night, good morning to the listeners of the After the Bar shows, from Morning Mayhem or the Random Nighttime shows. Good night, good morning to the listeners of the After the Bar shows, from the Morning Mayhem shows or the Random Nighttime shows. My people from recovery to legal trials, hoping unity is what we're speaking about. It's a long way to the promised land. All my people understand that this land is our land. One nation under God and ain't a thing changed. This ain't that and that ain't this, not the same thing. I'm about to bust a move, this a new groove. Kinda like a mission, not the Blues Brothers, but good night, good morning, make a listener of the After the Bar show. From morning mayhem